Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syahada binti Khairul with a matric number 065811. So today we're going to talk and discuss about Estrus synchronization. Whenever we talk about Estrus synchronization, we need to know what is the basis for synchronization of Estrus. So the first one is to manipulate the lifespan of corpus luteum. The second one is to manipulate growth of follicles and timing of ovulation. What is actually estrus synchronization? Estrus synchronization is the process of manipulating the estrus cycle that result in standing estrus, or people call it as a hit in the majority of animals in a short time. According to M. Melado in Encyclopedia of Dairy Science, which is in the second edition, the simplest means of estrus synchronization is the sudden introduction of an instant buck, testosterone status, or androgenized castrated buck among those with no previous contact with the males. The buck stimulus initiates the ovulatory process few hours after the start of teasing. So here we can see that many synchronization programs involve one or a combination of several hormones have been developed and used on commercial farms, whereas the basic principle of estrus synchronization involves manipulating the length of luteal phase of estrus cycle. This process is very effective to increase the number of animals bred at a particular breeding season. Estrus synchronization allows the more efficient of artificial insemination, or we can call it as an AI, which is the use of elite sires who's having superior genetic makeup and embryo transfer procedure. This process is reduce problem related to estrus detection, such as estrus detection errors and labor costs. So the current trend now is toward ovulation synchronization, which allows time breeding with estrus detection. Des and Mohan said that in 2020 that this technique should be used such a way so that permissible inbreeding limit, which is lesser than 5%, should be taken care. Now I'm going to pass to Myra.
Thank you, Shuhada, for that wonderful presentations. My name is Nahumaira Atiramiti Shazlan with matrix number 065583. Today, I will be talking about the agriculture and general application related to estrus synchronization that are able to achieve public demand for milk, cut costs for strategic reproduction process, increase the number of animals bred at a particular breeding season effectively, create more uniform calf group, and increase the genetic value of the offspring. First of all, in order to reach public demand for milk, dairy farmers needed to change their breeding routines. Estrus synchronizations enable this change in the herd's breeding routine to allow dairy farmers to produce milk for human consumption year-round even during winter. Secondly, enables the farmers to reduce costs involved in the hire of artificial insemination technicians and semen import for strategic reproduction. Concentrated calving and uniform weaning save time as it's cheaper than having individual cows in heat throughout the year. Furthermore, it is very effective to increase the number of animals bred at a particular breeding season. After that, many procedures utilize estrus synchronizations to tighten up their calving interval. Tighter calving intervals create more uniform calf group to market at weaning time. Cows born from synchronized cows are similar in age and usually in size and weight, making them a more uniform group. That uniform group is more attractive to the feedlot and should command a better price. Lastly, some producers choose to use estrus synchronization, so wolves from top breeders can be used to increase the genetic value of the offspring. Now we move on to the topic and materials and method conducting the estrus synchronizations by Asma.
Thank you, Humaira. Now we will be going through the methods of synchronization with me, Asma, as your host. There are three known methods used for estrus synchronizations: gonadotropins, prostaglandins, and progestins. Let's start with gonadotropins. The third names for gonadotropins, are also called GnRH protocols, are cisterulin and fertigel. The utilization is mostly in mature females. Gonadotropins naturally occur hormones that stimulate the release of luteinizing hormone (LH) and follicle stimulating hormones (FSH) that stimulates follicular development in the females. The protocols include offsting and costing. Offsting is a fixed-time artificial insemination (AI) synchronization protocol. The average pregnancy rate to the offsting is 30 to 40%. Next, the prostaglandins. The three names are estrumate, lutulase, and prostamate. The utilization mostly in cycling females. Prostaglandins are a naturally occurring hormone that causes regression of the CL or luteolysis and decreases progesterone secretion, which results in a return to estrus. We can expect an estrus within 2 days after administration. The progestins, which trade names are MGA and CIDR, and its utilization in prepubertal heifers for MGA and postpartum or unestrused females for CIDR. Progestin is a form of progesterone that extends the period of time progesterone is present and prevents animal from coming into heat. The protocols include MGA plus prostaglandin and CIDR. That's all from me. Thank you. Let's move to the next point, lead by Fazlina.
Asma with metric number 065617. So all the methods mentioned earlier have its own advantages and disadvantages. In general, these methods are useful in manipulating the cycle so that multiple cows can be ovulated around the same time. However, it is time consuming. Firstly, we have GnRH. It has higher entity rate of estrus synchrony compared to PGF protocols that we will go through later, and it allows for estrus detection. However, it requires higher cost due to the hormone injection, and it's not recommended in heifers. So next one, we have one injection of PGF, which is useful for detection of estrus in heifers and cows and at lower cost of drugs. However, it can lead to abortion, and the females must have functional corpus luteum. Then we have two injections of PGF that, as you can see, just like the previous slide, but it has tighter synchrony than the one injection method. Other than that, we have MGA and prostaglandin that are inexpensive method and proven system for heifers, but it requires appropriate feeding space and estrus synchronization may be variable. And lastly, we have CIDR that can improve the oocyte quality, and it can act as treatment for follicular cyst and repeat breeder, but the cost may be highest and possible retention failure of CIDR. Now that's all from me. Let's move to the next topic.
Now we're going to talk about the difference in estrus synchronization between mare and sows. In mare, progesterone or altrenogens are fed for 15 days. Meanwhile, in sow, progesterone is fed for almost 14 to 18 days. Second is in mare, estrus begins 3 days after progesterone withdrawal. Meanwhile, in sow, estrus begins 4 to 5 days after progesterone withdrawal. The third one is diasterom in mare will respond to a single injection of PGF2 alpha by exhibiting estrus within 3 to 5 days. Meanwhile, in sow, PGF is not useful for synchronizing in cycling swine because corpus luteum do not respond to PGF during 12 or 13 days of estrus cycle. So the last one is in mare, randomly cycling mare, estrus can be synchronized by a regime that involves 2 doses of PGF2 alpha and 2 doses of HCG. Meanwhile, in sow, a potential way of synchronizing estrus in swine is to inject 500 to 1000 IU of HCG on the 12th of estrus cycle, then inject PGF about 3 weeks later. Meanwhile, in non-cycling gilts can be synchronized with PG600. So for your information, PGF2 alpha is prostaglandin F2 alpha, meanwhile HCG is human chorionic gonadotropin.
Thank you, Shahada. Hi, it's me again, Humaira. I will be talking about the estrus synchronization in you. It can be divided into acyclic and cyclic. For acyclic, progesterone for 12 to 21 days with ECG given near the end of progesterone treatment and will be in estrus within 2 to 4 days. The most common protocol used for acyclic is either prostaglandins or CIDR. Then for cyclic, progesterone which during pessary for 18 to 20 days plus ECG which given on days of pessary removal, and animal will be in estrus within 2 to 3 days. The common protocols used will be 2 PGF injection with 11 to 12 days apart. Now we move to Hazizi to conclude the estrus synchronizations presentations.
Thank you to all my group members, which is Myra, Shuhada, Shema and Fazina, who is explain more about this topic. Me, Khairul Amirul Hazizi, my metric number 065561, I will be conclude about this topic. Overall, uterus synchronization is the modification of the animal uterus cycle in order to have the majority of the animal as its habit standing uterus in a short amount of time. It's a very successful approach for increasing the proportion of animal breed at the start of the breeding season. To be more successful, an uterus synchronization technique must synchronize follicular wave and or luteal regression and result in the majority of the animal demonstrating standing uterus at the start of the mating season. Prostaglandin F2 cause CL regression, progestin prevent ovulation, and GnRH cause ovulation. The administration of the natural occurring hormone might cause the majority of cows to exhibit standing uterus at the start of the breeding season, giving them an extra opportunity to get pregnant during the specific breeding season. To obtain a good uterus synchronized in your herd, you can employ any of several uterus synchronization techniques. Contact field or state livestock specially to find out which synchronization program is the best for your herd.